Hey, Instagram, how are you? This is Strategic Chats. This is my Q&A session, which I am just popping in the description as well. Ask me anything business. And I think we are live elsewhere as well now. Hello, everyone. How are you today? I hope you are well. This is Strategic Chats. This is my live Q&A session. Thank you for joining me wherever you are tuning in today. I do appreciate you joining. I'm just making sure that I have all systems go, as it were. I am making sure that we have all our streams working on all our platforms that we are on. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for hopping on, for everyone that is coming in live today. This is Strategic Chats. Strategic Chats is my live Q&A session. So what we cover today in Strategic Chats is 100% determined by you. You are your content. I can ask any questions that you would like about either your own business or my business as well, and I am happy to answer those for you. Now, if you do want to, we are streaming through Zoom, so if you do want to join me on Zoom and actually come on video and ask me the question, then we can have a bit back and forwards. I can clarify any points. Then you can go to annetteandco.co.uk/strategicchats. The link should be in the description to this video on most platforms that you are watching on. So if you want to do that, and as I say, hop onto Zoom with me, and we can have an actual chat face-to-face and stream that over as well, then you are more than welcome to do that. If you head to annetteandco.co.uk/strategic chats, you will get the link, and you can the Zoom link will come to your inbox. The link to that, by the way, is on most platforms, is in my description as well, in my bio, so you can check that out there. So thank you for everyone who's tuning in. Thank you, David. Eloisa, always wonderful to see you. Eloisa on my team always tunes in, and it is delightful to see her. Horse Scout, thank you for tuning in. Hugh, thank you for joining me. Sumit, thank you for joining me. Thunder Strike, thank you for tuning in. Whichever platform you are on and you are watching today, thank you for joining me. We are currently live on TikTok, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and of course inside the Uncover Wealth community, my private community on Facebook, which, by the way, if you are not a member of, and you are a UK business owner, or actually a business owner worldwide, and you're not in the Uncover Wealth community, you must be crazy. So please do come and join me in there if you are a business owner as well. Lots of great stuff happening in that group, and exclusive trainings that happen in there as well. So I would love to have you there, and I would welcome you to come and join that group. So if you are hopping on, do make sure you say hello. And this is your opportunity to ask me any questions about your business that you want my opinion on. That is exactly what this session is about. So I would love to hear your questions in the comments so that I can answer those as well. I'm just going to pull up too. I had somebody ask me a question earlier today, so I am going to cover that off as well, so that we can speak about that question too. So let me pull that one up, and we can speak through that question as well. Whilst that is loading, make sure you do think of your own questions so that I can support and help you too. So Amy says, please bear with me, I am new, but I have been looking to set up a shop now for a while. I've done my homework and I found a suitable premises to start from. My landlord and myself are currently discussing contracts and negotiating the niggly bits. I have heard that over the next few days, possibly weeks, there will be another budget to help the economy and entice new businesses to open and start trading. My questions are as follows. Firstly, what funds, grants are they willing to offer? Secondly, if I open my business next week, i.e. Monday, would I be entitled to this? Is it worth putting all plans on hold until announcements have been made? Will people still want to come into shops with a pandemic ongoing? I am very new to this. Please be nice. I am still young and I am just trying to work everything out. Well, first of all, there are no things as silly questions, and it's absolutely the best thing to do if you're not sure is to seek advice from other people. So in answer to the question, first thing I would want to say is anyone who is currently negotiating a tenancy period with a commercial landlord, make sure you get an incredibly good agreement, because there are going to be lots and lots of empty commercial premises coming up. Please make sure you're not tied down to excessively long lease terms. Please make sure there's an option in your lease to potentially decrease your rent, as well as rent increases, which often get put in there. Make sure that this agreement is skewed to you and not skewed to the landlord, because at the moment, landlords, and over the next few weeks and months, landlords, commercial landlords, are going to have an excess of properties. Okay, so as a potential commercial tenant, that puts you in the stronger position. So please remember that whilst agreeing any commercial rent at this point in time. Now, saying that you'd heard that there may be a budget announced over the next few days or weeks, what we are actually hearing, Amy, is that there may be some type of small announcements in July, but certainly not a full-on budget. The Chancellor has come out and very much downplayed any suggestion of a summer budget, but there will be an autumn budget. That is what we are hearing at the moment. So it's more likely that there'll be an autumn budget and some small announcements in the summer, but nothing major there. So when it comes to your question of what funds and grants are they willing to offer, the answer, Amy, quite honestly, is we have no idea. We don't have a crystal ball. We have no clue what might be announced in the future, and therefore, unable to kind of help you with that question. But what I will say is, in terms of grants for new business, that's not very common. So don't hold your breath on that kind of thing. We do expect large infrastructure projects, for example, to be announced in the budget to help the economy, to stimulate the economy and get people working. We do expect some green projects to be announced, but in terms of funds and grants for new business, probably unlikely given everything that's been happening, given potential history. So I certainly wouldn't be holding your breath for that one. And then secondly, if you open your business next week, i.e. Monday, would you be entitled to this? Well, again, we don't know what you would or would not be entitled to for any future announcement, because we just have no idea what that would be. And whether or not you would be excluded or included, again, we would have no way of telling that at all until the announcements are made, unless there's any leaked documentation, which at the moment there really isn't. So, there's very, when you start a business, when you begin a business, you have to make the decisions based on the available information at the time. And, sometimes you will win on that and sometimes you will lose on that. But being an entrepreneur is about taking the decision. It is about moving forward. And I certainly would not advise that you hold off your plans in the hope that, and keeping your fingers crossed, that maybe come the next budget, which date we don't actually know, that they might perhaps maybe say anything to do with any grants or support for new business, and then you may or potentially possibly be entitled to them. There's no way that you should be holding off on launching a business for that reason. The final question as well is, will people still want to come into shops with the pandemic going on? Very, very difficult to tell, Amy. Of course, the government, again, want people, I should just caveat by saying non-retail in England is due to open on the 15th of June. If you're listening to this on the podcast, of course, that will be after that date, but that is the date for England. Other parts of the UK are not on that same schedule. So that is one thing to remember as well for anyone who is listening. But when it comes to will people want to still go into shops? Again, very, very difficult to know. We can't really predict exactly what will happen, but what we do know is that for retailers, costs will increase and footfall will decrease naturally, because they won't be able to get as many people into retail premises at one time. as they could do before this. So you'll have increased costs of PPE, signage for people having to walk in certain directions in the shops, sneeze guards, those kinds of things. You will also potentially have less footfall than you may have anyway as a result of social distancing measures being in place in shops. And then, of course, you will have the general feel of people and the general consensus as to whether or not people are comfortable going shopping. Some people will be, some people won't be. So part of that may depend on the area you're in and whether people are happier or not happier going out to shops. That may depend on how the virus is progressing in different areas, but that all comes into play. And again, Amy, it's very hard for us to give you a yes or no answer on that question because none of us have been in a pandemic situation before. None of us have been here, and we just don't know how people will react, what will happen ultimately. So, and in all honesty, Amy, it's a very challenging time to start up a high street retail business. Therefore, making sure that you have your profit plan in place, that your numbers are worked out, that you understand what the costs will be for things like PPE ongoing, that you understand what your footfall might be in a reduced footfall in retail environment is going to be really important before you open the doors. So, and in fact, to be honest, before you even sign the lease. So making sure that you understand all those kinds of things is going to be massively, massively important for you. So Amy, I hope that has answered your question as well. Hey, everyone who is tuning in. Susie, hey, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Dylan, thank you so much. I appreciate that, those words of outstanding. Thank you. I appreciate that. I may have had a paused broadcast there as my phone just rang. So that's me. That's me back. Barry, that's no problem at all. You can catch up on the replay. Of course, if you are watching just now, if you've just tuned in and you've missed some of this session today, you can catch up on the replay on most platforms. If you're watching on Instagram, it will be going to IGTV. If you're on TikTok, that's pretty much the only platform that we are on that, of course, you don't have a replay in session. So you can come to YouTube or to Instagram. Both of those links are in my bio to catch up on the replay for anything you've missed as well. This is Strategic Chats. This is my Q&A session. So if you have any questions about your business, whether that be about finance, strategy, sales, marketing, team, whatever that might be, please do ask me. If you want to do that on Zoom and actually speak face-to-face, then you can head to annetteandco.co.uk/strategic chats to receive the Zoom link to do that. Otherwise, of course, you can ask in the comments section and I will answer those there as well. So please do let me know if we have any more questions. I would love to answer those, and I'm just going to scroll through the feeds on each of our channels to check to see if anyone has given us any questions as well. Ollie, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for joining me. I do very, very much appreciate it. Dan, thank you for joining me. Mohammed asked, what's my favorite tree? Gosh, I actually have never really thought about what my favorite tree is. An oak tree, I think, maybe. That might be my favorite tree. Thank you for asking, Mohammed. Thank you for joining me, Ron. Victor, thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate everyone who is watching. So as I say, this is my Q&A session. Ask me anything business related, whether it's to do with your business or with my business. I'm more than happy to answer that. For those of you who don't know me and you're thinking, who is this person that is on my screen? My name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I am a chartered accountant and certified Profit First professional, as well as an income strategist. So I help business owners take home more money from their business is fundamentally what I do. So if you have any questions about that, about your business, about my business, then please do feel free to ask those. I am here every Thursday at 3 p.m. UK. to answer your questions, and I would love to do that. So do let me know if you have any questions. I'm looking across all our channels and I cannot see any questions coming through, but please do ask if you do have questions. I do want to say as well that I appreciate all the love, the hearts, the likes, the thumbs up, the follows, whichever platform you are on and whatever the method is with that platform. I massively, massively appreciate it. So thank you so much as well. I'm going to take a drink of my tea too. And please, as I say, please do ask any questions that you may have in the comments, or you can come over to Zoom by going to annetteandco.co.uk/strategic chats and getting that Zoom link to your inbox. So please, please do let me know if you have any questions at all. If no more questions come in, then of course we will finish the session, but I would love to hear any questions that you may have as well. Oh, let's have a look. Let's see. Okay, good. I think that might be it. I think we probably possibly have all our questions for today. But hey, Summer, thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. So I think we've possibly covered all our questions for today. Like I said, please do let me know if you have any questions in relation to your business or my business. Then please do ask me in the comments. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes in case anybody else has any further questions. I would love to answer those if you do. If not, you can save them up till next time, Thursdays at 3 p.m. UK. I am here every single Thursday answering your questions. That is exactly what I do. Zanu says, I want to know how we can take advantage of this. Well, what you need to do is head to annetteandco.co.uk/strategic chats. You can register and you can hop on Zoom with me. You want to know how you can take advantage of the crisis as opposed to this session. Fair enough, fair enough. So in part, that depends on what your own skill set is and where that lies. Of course, in every recession, there are always winners, and it is about understanding what will help you win in a recession, whether that be that you're upskilling, whether that be that you have a business and that you have to tweak and pivot in order to do well in that business. That will depend on which country you live in and what your own skill set and your own, your own things that you bring to the table are as well. Sinu's saying, you mean trade? I mean the trading and corporate stocks. I cannot give you investment advice, Zinu, but there are many, many people out there that can. I'm a chartered accountant. We are not allowed to give specific investment advice. That is against our professional body. So you would have to look at a fund manager or somebody like that in order to get specific investment advice. But of course, at any point in time, it's always important to understand your own risk profile when it comes to investing. And it's always important to ensure that you have emergency funds as well, and that you are not investing those, that the money that you invest, you can afford to lose. Those are always keys when it comes to trading and when it comes to investing. But I am not your person to give you any trading or investment tips. As I say, that is against our professional body to do that. So that is that's where that one stands. Hey Lewis, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Hello Stella, thank you for joining me. As I said, this is your business Q&A session. So any questions you have about your own business or my business, I'm happy to answer those for you. So do let me know if you have any questions, and I will happily answer those as well. Thank you so much for joining me. You know what, I have a Lewis 1200 on Instagram and on TikTok. Are you the same person, or are you two different people with the same username on different platforms? I would love to know that, because that is so interesting. Because I have that person or people on both, joined on both platforms at the same time. I'd love to know if you are the same person or if you are two different people. Let me know in the comments. That would be awesome to know that. No problems, Inu, you are more than welcome. So as I say, any questions that you have UK business related, then please do let me know about your business or about my business. I'm happy to answer those. But it looks like perhaps we've had all our questions come through for today. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Like I say, Thursdays at 3 p.m. is where you can find me to ask any questions that you have about your business or mine. So do make sure that you save up some questions for me, because I would love to answer those for you as well. So thank you for tuning in. If you want to catch me again, I am live tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. again on whichever platform you're watching for AMs with Annette, your UK business update, where I'm covering all things that are happening around UK business in the last 24 hours. So do make sure you pop that in your diary and join me then for that as well. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will speak very soon. Take care, everyone.